and who they report to. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Majority Leader. I think that's very important to look and see where make sure that structures are in order. Thank you. Honorable Mutuko, Caroline.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm a member of the Park Committee, and I support the recommendations that the team brought forward. Mine is to say that I also sit in the Water Committee, and there was a task force that was created by Her Excellency, the Governor, and as we sat to just hear the draft report that they were bringing up, there were recommendations on the margin of the companies and many other. My point is that my hope is that the policies that are not making sense, so to speak, in the companies, like the interest policy and the bad debt policy, that they are part of that of the recommendations by the task force that was created. And also my prayer is that the constitution of the boards, they will look at, because as we speak now, the boards are created, they are political appointments. So my prayer is that they will look at the qualifications of the members of the boards, more so the accounting officers. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much. Thank you for bringing out the issue of that some policies have been done away with by the task force, which are necessary, and they are also burdening us. Okay.
Madam Speaker, I wish to inform this House one thing that is really a challenge, and I've just shared with the Majority Leader. We need to, the Committee on Water needs to look into the Water Act. The biggest challenge in these water companies is our Water Act. It is, and the Majority Leader said, we don't know who owns them, who controls them. So I wish to inform this House, Madam Speaker, the Committee on Water really needs to look into the Water Act and see into it which department or which organization or which entity in this government can they either petition or engage and repeal the Water Act. It is the most punitive document that we are using to date, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you. It's important that we can now get where the problem is, and it goes back now to the water department. That is now the Water Committee for us this side. So we need to really look into this water thing, and the act should be checked again to see what structures it has put. If they are old-fashioned, then we remove them and get the right ones. Thank you very much. At this point, I want to call the mover of the motion to reply.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'll start by congratulating every member who has contributed to the same, bringing out some insights of the same. I also want to say, as we have discussed, that yes, there is a problem with the water companies, and one of the problems I would say is the inheritance of bad debts or debts by the defunct, I don't know, it was called MACHAKOS, Municipal Council, because in comes the county governments and they had to inherit debts that had been incurred, or even not debts, together with uncollected dues from the former, from the defunct Municipal Council. The other problem may be that it be deviling the water companies is the management, and one of our honorable members, I think Honorable Mbova has pointed out, is the management and qualified members of management. And we are saying if they can hire qualified members of management, accounting in particular, because at times it's not very good when the Auditor General points out just a simple transfer of figures from one document to the other one, the accountant that we have internally here, or they have, cannot transfer the correct figures. That is one thing. I'm just citing one. Another place we are losing, or they are losing, particularly in Machakos Water and Sewerage Company and Mavoko, is the issue of the developers. When they go to develop new buildings, they uproot their pipes, they don't, and the water is pouring, that becomes unmetered water. And that is a loss, because it's not part of the water that they will sell, yet they had pumped it in their system. Then there is also the issue of the systems themselves. Honorable Maida has pointed out very well that the smart meters are doing well, or they would do us a good deal of work. But the problem now is that they do not have the money to purchase all this, because you find they are not simple, and they are not cheap. And these are the things that maybe we would want to say, if only the water companies can work on that, then we would be getting profit, if not breaking even, of these companies that they no longer want to be supported by the government. But again, poor payments. And Madam Speaker, with all due respect, I would say, I remember Honorable Wanjiru has pointed out one time in the discussion, particularly in Machakos Water, which we'll be discussing later, we were asking, why don't we disconnect the White House with water, because it's the biggest culprit. Yeah, because we will come here, crucify the water companies and their management. Kumbe, it is us ourselves who are not paying for the same. Yeah, if only these big or the government institutions could pay, you would find they are having the biggest bills to be paid. The other thing is about outdated, what do you call it? No, the charges. The charges, what do you call it? Tariffs, yes. They have not been approved, because I remember the Mavoko Water general manager pointing it out that they are using very old, they have been applying for their approval, but they have not been approved. So they are supplying water at a very high cost, yet they are charging the same lower cost than they are able to supply it. So with those many remarks, I thank everybody and say, yes, let us have it done. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Mwoki. I now put the question that, pursuant to Standing Order 185, this House adopts the report of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Mavoko Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2022, laid on the table of the House on 3rd September 2024. As many are of the opinion, say ayes. As many are of the contrary opinion, say nay. The ayes have it. The House adjourns to today, Wednesday, 2nd of October, 2024, at 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon. See you then, members.